Shalom Aleichem, everyone. We're continuing the Hachzeg's learning of the Pele Yoetz. Today is day number 222, and we are in the chapter of Haskama, the decrees and enactments that are made in particular towns. Now, as I'm learning this, you just see that nature of the world has changed drastically. Most of us don't live in towns that are so tightly held together by the leaders of that town, and everybody together biyachad as one with achdus, wanting to hear what has to be said. We live in a very spread out Jewish world today. Even in the communities that we all live in, they're very large and very vast, and there's not always one person in particular that has the rights to enact takanas. And it could very well be that things have changed drastically since the time of the Pele Yoetz, and that perhaps maybe a lot of these words will not be so relevant to us in our communities, in our kehilas. However, it's still kedai to understand what he says, because we do sometimes hear about takanas that are being made in Klal Yisrael. Everything that took place with the internet from 25 years ago and continues the ongoing battle now with AI and the like. So there are takanas that are being suggested to Klal Yisrael to ensure our spiritual and emotional safety, to keep us clean and to keep us in a world of kedusha and tahara the best that is possible under the current day circumstances. Now, they're not making takanas that you must do X, Y, and Z, because probably they understand that that's something that ein Rabbi yochal lamei, but not everybody will be able to uphold and keep such a thing. Nevertheless, they are very strong. The Rabbanim and the leaders are very strong in the things that they are suggesting and in trying to enforce that Klal Yisrael should do, because it's for our best interest. So we take their words and we take their advice and we take their direction seriously, and we try our best to uphold their vision and their understanding and their chachma, their wisdom that guides us in the right direction. But he writes over here, it will be very good for those that are making these enactments and decrees, v'haskamas and the agreements, do not be geyser them, do not decree them with the power of a nachash, nun ches shin. What does that stand for? It's an acronym. Nachash nidui, which is you would excommunicate nidui, halachic bans, cherem, which would be excommunications, that's the ches, and shin, shamta, are bans. Meaning that you make it that when you enact such a thing, whoever doesn't uphold what it is that we say, nachash, they're going to get excommunicated. Says the Pele Yoetz v'chadayim, similar things that people say, penalties that a person will incur and the like if they end up breaking the agreement. You'll find people that break these enactments regularly, so to speak, and they're going to be bitten by the nachash. They'll get excommunicated. They're going to be banned. You won't let their kids into school. It's very harsh, says the Pele Yoetz. Many multitudes will fall by the wayside as a result of this. So then what did you accomplish? You end up hurting people much worse than helping people. And rather, what should you do? So you make these decrees, and you make it that there's going to be like a monetary fine if somebody ends up breaking the rules. If they do something inappropriate, it's enough that he knows that he did an aver. If the whole kahal is holding on to this takan and he's transgressing it on a regular basis, or he does it even once, whatever, he just doesn't want to listen, so he's doing an avera. But still, says the Pele Yoetz, you don't have to put excommunicate him as a result. Also, don't make a takana that's going to be for all generations, forever. You have no idea what today is going to bring. Look at the world that we live in. From one minute to the next, we never know what's going to happen. There's a war, there's missiles, there's bombs, our kids couldn't get home for Yom Tiv. People are going to get there. It's Yisrael for Yom Tiv. There's who knows what's going to be. The countries of the world, are they on top of us? Are they against us? They're for us? We don't know. Nobody knows one day to the next what is going to be. The world is running out of control. AI is producing things every single day, upgrading. Nobody knows what's going to be. So how could you make a takana today that should stand in place for the next 100,000 years and stand in place of Mashiach? How can you do such a thing? Says the Pele Yoetz, maybe a time will come when people cannot uphold that takana. They'll end up gnashing their teeth, or they will just transgress it altogether. Therefore, from the first time that you make this takana, you make this decree, just give it a time limit, a certain amount of time, 20 years, 30 years, whatever it might be. Or at least you make the takana, but you make a condition that whatever leader of the next generation, or the shofet, the judge, if he sees that it has to be changed, he'll be able to change it. Or he could add on to it, he could take away from it. Whatever he sees in his eyes is the right thing to do. You can't make something permanent. These are takanas. Says the Pele Yoetz, ve'ein roi lechatet kol kach achar oivim al haskamas. Don't start searching around. Send out your henchmen to find the people that are breaking these takanas. They're doing it privately or doing it in their own rooms and the like. You can't say that a haskama, that an agreement, that a decree that the people are making is bigger than that what it says in the Torah from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. It's not. These are extra things that you're adding in. HaKadosh Baruch Hu in His Torah, are we running around to everybody's house and knocking on the door and looking in and peeking in and seeing all the affairs that they do? We don't do that. In our great sinfulness, unfortunately, people that disregard the Torah are many, many, and they're doing it in private, and I'm not looking and peering in people's homes to see what they're doing. Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai is leaving the world, and they said, Rebbe Barchenu, give us a bracha. What did he say? Amalehem. Halavai she'mor shemayim aleichem k'mor basar v'dam. Halavai, I wish that the fear that you have of human beings should be the same fear that you have of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And they said, that's the bracha. He said, yes. Everybody knows when you're driving down the street at 100 miles per hour and you don't see any policemen, you're breaking every law in the book. If they would catch you, you're going to get your license taken away. The minute that Waze tells you, police there, suddenly I slow down. My fear of the Rebbeinu, I'm driving like a maniac, I'm a reckless person on the streets, that doesn't bother me. There's a police officer, he might catch me and give me a ticket, suddenly I slow down. Everybody knows that we're embarrassed to do aveiros often in front of other people, but behind closed doors, no problem. No one's watching me. What about the Rabbi Shalom? Said Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai, Halavai, I wish that it would be that your fear of HaKadosh Baruch Hu be as much as your fear of human beings that are watching you commit your sins. Therefore, do not start chasing after people, going into their homes, prying into their private lives so you can punish them. Because if you do that, they're going to sin even more. And they're going to end up rebelling against you. And they say, hey, get out of my house. What are you talking about? I didn't do anything. Stay away from me. I'll do it in my own privacy. I'll do whatever I want. It's enough that the violation is going to be lessened and they're going to misbehave in private. At the end, the decree will endure. Meaning that if you're able just to get them to not do these things in public, that's good enough. What they do behind the private home, that's between them and the Rebbeinu Shalom. And that's between them and their Yirah Shamayim. And maybe they hold, you know what, we're going to follow through. Many times you have parents, they send their kids to a certain school, and the school has a lot of takanas. They have a lot of things in place. You can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do this, you can't do this. No, you can't do anything. But they want their kids to go to that school. So they will uphold the takanas of the school, certainly always in public, with their children, always. This is whatever the school says, that's what we do. Now, in our home, we're our own people. And in a home, perhaps we allow for such things. So if we do, as long as you will find a way to explain to your children that we're not going against the school's takanas are there, and what we do in the privacy of our own home, that's between us and the Rabbi Shalom. And we love the school, we appreciate the school, we value the school, and so this is what we have to do. For you, when you go to school and when in public things and the like, yes. But in our house, we feel that this is okay, and therefore, we'll not do it again. It's a slippery slope. It's very tricky. You have to have a lot of chachma, insight to be able to do it in the right way. But if getting that family to stop doing these things in a public way, that's good enough. Don't worry about what's going on behind their private chambers, says the Pele Yoetz. If you see that this behavior that they want to put a takana on is something that many people are doing, and they're attached to such a thing, do not make a takana and try to uproot it all at once. It's going to be a disaster. Nobody can stop cold turkey such a thing. Rather, you should begin to choose the lesser of the evil, and la'at, and little by little, you'll begin to uproot it completely. Al derech, like it says, ma'at agarshenu. It says in the pasuk over there, little by little I will drive them away. So you got to start slow. You want to make a takana, whatever it's going to be. No more pizza in town. I don't know, whatever it is. No, pizza shops can no longer be open on Motzi Shabbos when the boys and girls are being way too friendly with each other, and there's too much taruv, too much overlap with them, and it's not good. So now you want to make a rule that they can't do that. So you're going to stop cold turkey like that. They won't be able to handle it. So you go little by little by little by little by little until you get to such a place where you can do such a thing. And just like it's also, you're not allowed to show favor when it comes to making a judgment. And everybody has to be equal when you make these takanas in town. Don't show favor to the poor or honor someone who is great. Everybody has to have one takana for everybody. They said, well, the poor people, they'll get like this, and the rich one's going to be like this, and the middle of the road doesn't work like that. When there's a takana in town, it's for everybody. Someone who does this, they will not falter forever. As long as all their deeds are the Shem Shemayim for the sake of heaven, for Kodesh Baruch Hu, the Kel Olam, the eternal God. And therefore, says the Pele Yoetz, you're going to make these takanas, do them in the right way. It's going to be a benefit. It's going to be to'elis. It's only going to help. Not chali, it's going to hurt. And if it's going to end up hurting, you have to see already from the beginning, and then don't make such a takana, because you're only going to end up making things worse. There'll be so much backlash and so much fighting and so much arguing, and you have different camps. This one does keep the takana, this one doesn't need the takana. And then what did you create? You created more division and derision in Klal Yisrael. It's not worth it. The Torah tells us enough things that we cannot do, and many things, and enough things that we are allowed to do. Hashem figured it all out. If you need a takana, it has to be done thoughtfully, and in that way, Be'ez Hashem, it'll be a to'elis, a benefit for that kehillah in that town. All the best.